Well, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your day. I am. I had my coffee. Had the vitamin C this morning. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Let's do a little roll call. When I see your name here, Rosalinda, how are you? Niagara Falls, Sandra Aurelia. And Francis Marie, good morning. Brahim from Portland, Oregon, good morning to you. Michael, I hope you're better, Brahim. Eileen, Georgina. Carrie from Nebraska. Mary, good morning. Wendy, Markham, good morning. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. You guys are so faithful, I can't get over it. Jeanette, bonjour. Chantal, bonjour. Ottawa, Bruno. Quebec. Deb, Detroit, Michigan. Sue. Bolton, and it's foggy. Yeah, it was foggy here in Sudbury too. Donna, good morning. And Judy, Newfoundland. Zian and Jean. Pronovo, good morning. Gary, how are you? Karen, we appreciate ya. Sandra from Brampton. Couple more. Donna, Saskatchewan, good morning. Saskatchewan. Dorothy, PEI. Linda from Chatham. Anne, good morning. Nancy. And another Linda from Pennsylvania. Nick, good morning. And another Linda from New Brunswick. We got a lot of Lindas. Luella from West Tennessee. Melika, Stouffville. Lynn, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Diane, Thunder Bay. Mindy, how are you? Mindy, North Bay. Marnie, good morning. Jeanette from our staff. Good morning. Catherine, Springdale, Newfoundland. Nellie. And Yolande, bonjour. Good to have you on. There's Doc. Dr. McEwen, how are you? Good to have you on. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. And Jean from Peterborough. Leela, good morning. Deb, good morning. Vera, Newfoundland. Okay, let me get going now, okay? I know I miss you guys, okay? And Brahim says he's better. We were all praying for you. Jocelyn, Mara, Windsor, and Carol. We love you, Arlene. Okay, I know, I hate to miss any of you. Sharon is from the Mitten State. Where's the Mitten State? Diane from North Bay, and Lori from Cambridge, and Thea from Saskatchewan, Denise Oakville. Okay, here we go. I want you to change your mind. I was sort of thinking about this. I'm just finishing up, okay? I'm actually, okay, I want to show you what my book looks like right now, because I'm really done. Just doing some editing, and then, see this? It's off to the publisher, printer, okay? See that? It's done. My end of it. Last minute touch-ups. And sun, steak, steel, and sleep is done. Yeah, it's a lot of work to put in a book together. It really is, you know. I enjoy it. I do. And, but one of the things I try and do in this book is change people's minds. Changing minds. Because really, at the end of the day, when you really think about it, we got nutrition basically all wrong, right? And it really has a profound effect. Now, listen to this. This came out. I read this this morning in an article that it actually was commenting on a study that was done, and the influence, it said, here was the headline, the takeover The headline was this: the takeover of nutrition and dietitians in the United States of America. This was an article based on a study that was done, the influence. Listen, when you go to your grocery store, I never even thought of this. There's something like, in an average grocery store, there's 33,000 products. Now, I don't know if that's, well, it must be, I read it somewhere. Okay, I never thought there would be that many, but that's what they're saying. The average grocery store has 33,000 products. Okay? And I remember a friend of mine, when we were kids, okay, his parents came to our hometown just before he was born. And they moved in from Poland. And Ed and I were good buddies. And he would tell me that when his parents first got to North America, they went into the grocery store. Now remember, because at that time, Poland was communist. And so I'm talking about the late 40s and early 50s. And you know what happened? They go into a grocery store. They thought it was fake. They thought it was fake. There was too much food there. They said, the government is just doing that to impress us. Seriously, this is what he told me. You know, we take it for granted. We go into a grocery store in North America, and now, I'm sure it wasn't like that in the 50s, but now we're up to 33,000 products. But here's the story. The story is those products you see in a grocery store generally have 8 owners, 8 to 10. From Coca-Cola to Pepsi-Cola. Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, my friend, is not just Coke or Pepsi, okay? And soda or pop, we call it in Canada. No, they own lots of other things. And there's Kraft. There is General Foods, which, you know, cereal companies, and, 8 to 10, that's it. They got 33,000 products. But the story was this. Those companies who have bought up all the food companies are big conglomerates today. Big business. And you know what? They really have bought and paid for, and this is not just me saying it, I'm giving you a quote. They have taken over the education to nutritionists, dietitians in the United States of America. And I'm telling you, it's the same in Canada. And therefore, we have a food pyramid. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Kraft Foods, Nestle's, Lever Brothers. Unreal, guys. And so the moral of the story today is changing your mind, changing your thinking. So that's really what my book is about. Changing people's thinking. You know, sun. You want a starter pack for disease? Stay out of the sun. You want to get sick? stay out of the sun. You want to get sick? Eat from the food pyramid. All in moderation. Okay? So, what do we need to change? Well, we need to change our minds. Now, you guys are educated. I boast. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was telling them about my audience. They didn't know, they just remembered me as Dr. Martin in my clinic. But I said, no, I do podcasts. Well, he said, podcast, what's that? Almost like he's my age, okay? So I said, I got a big audience on a daily basis and then over social media like podcasting is. And I said, my friend, it's unreal. I never thought, like when my son told me, a few years ago, Dad, we're gonna bring you to a much bigger audience. Like I said, bigger than my radio audience? Yeah, but much bigger than that. And Dad, that's what, okay. I trust you, son. You got your mother's brains, okay? Okay, now. But what I got a soapbox. And I don't take that lightly, by the way, I don't. And I really try and emphasize the truth here, okay? And I realize, somebody said to me the other day, Doc, you're pretty controversial. Yeah, I know. I go against the grain. I go against grains in a literal way. I go against it. No, but because if you understand what's happening, when you understand that it's more indoctrination, then you sort of get it. And I know you guys get it. And I want you to think. I want you to think. I want you to be really, self-help. And I know you are because you listen. Okay? Have you ever studied the book of Proverbs? There's really two people in it, in the book of Proverbs, okay? It's one of my favorite books. And there's two people. It talks about the wise and the fool. And you know what characterizes the wise and the fool? I mean, really, there's all sorts of, from, your relationships to work habits, to your tongue, to friends, to you name it. It's in the book of Proverbs, one of the most practical books in the Bible. But you know what? You know what the overarching principles on the two, wise? What's the difference between a wise and a fool? The wise person listens and the fool doesn't. You can't teach him anything. They don't listen, Linda. Okay, really. And so I'm out to change people's minds. And I want them to change their habits. Okay? So let's talk about that for a minute. I brought this to you, I don't even remember. Was it in the month of May, June, July? I can't remember. But I want you to change your oil. You need an oil change. I don't know anything about my vehicle. I don't. Okay? But I know one thing, that every, 5,000 clicks and, or so, or in the United States, 3,000 to 5,000 miles or whatever the car manufacturer recommends, I get an oil change. I get an oil change. Why? Well, one of my grandsons is a mechanic. Smart. He was going into law school. He said, Grandpa, I'm going to make more money being a mechanic. I said, good for you. He's such a hard worker and so smart. He didn't get one of those mechanical brain cells that he has. One thing he didn't get it from, he didn't get it from me. That I guarantee you. But I love calling him because he talks to me about, my car or my truck. Grandpa, change the oil. Why? Why do I need to change the oil? And he said, well, listen, it loses its viscosity. Okay. He said, Grandpa, that'll ruin your engine. Because oil will wear down. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. And I'm a good listener. And I get my oil changed in my truck. Okay? It's not just a money-making thing. I thought maybe, you know what, they just want your money. No, my grandson said, no, it's a good idea. Change that oil. Okay, I'm doing it. And guys, when it comes to nutrition, we need to change oils. Really key. Change oils. Change your mind, change oils. We need an oil change. We have gotten away from the best oil. Now listen to this, okay? Now you guys heard this. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what month. But in March, I think it was March the 22nd or March the 25th, 22nd it says here, an Airbus A380. You know what an Airbus is? It's a bus in the air. It's a big plane. A jumbo jet. You know what they did? On a test flight, they ran it with cooking oil. It worked. Now that ought to scare you. That ought to scare you. But what have I been saying all this time? Okay? What have I been saying? Seed oils. Let me give you the dirty 8. I think there's 8 or 9 that I wrote down. Canola. Don't get the... I actually wrote this in my new book. Don't get the canola virus. Because the vast majority of foods that are cooked in North America are cooked in canola oil. Canada's gift to the world. It's good for Airbus. It's good for a jet. Imagine. It's good for your car. Fully synthetic. But it ain't good for your body. Because your body, at the end of the day, guys, people think they get away with this, but they really don't. Because, you don't have a light that goes on top of your head, says, warning, warning, don't use that oil, don't use that oil. People get sick gradually, okay? And we like to say this at the Martin Clinic all the time, that, you don't just wake up this morning and then all of a sudden you're sick. Now that can happen if you get a virus or a bug, right? I wonder if there's going to be the flu this year. It disappeared. But you know what I mean, guys? Like, one day you don't have a cold and then you feel it coming on. It's instant. It can happen. Oh my God, I got the sniffles. I got a sore throat. I got that. Okay. So that can happen immediately. But most diseases, anything like cancer, I talked to you about the 5 years yesterday of the ballpoint pen, just the tip of the ballpoint pen, how long it takes for cancer to grow to that size. So guys, if you use the wrong oil, your body isn't going to, it's not going to drop right there. You're going to get away with it for a while, but you really are not. You're starting the process. You're starting the process. So anytime like canola oil, I'll go through the list. Corn oil, cottonseed oil, soy, big soy oil, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, rice bran oil. These are the top dirty 8, I call them. Okay? And we cook with them. Go to the grocery store. You'll see a whole line of a shelf, and they're all oils that were meant for that Airbus and not for your body. But because, I'm into serial killers with an S. Okay? And C, like Kellogg's, Dr. Kellogg's was a serial killer, C and an S. He might have had great intentions. Okay? He did. So I never want to question someone's motives that look at these people probably believed what they did. Like Kellogg's, he believed that fiber was good for you, and bacon and eggs wasn't. And, he became a serial killer. He probably didn't mean to, but he did because he got millions and millions and millions of people to change their mind about what to eat for breakfast. I talked to you in the past about Ansel Keys, a serial killer who started the whole cholesterol nonsense. Can I talk to you about the Procter and Gamble? These guys were serial killers. Again, I don't think they meant to be. They started Crisco, hydrogenated oil, meant for the Airbus and not for you. Your body doesn't even know what that is. And then it cascaded. Listen, guys, I'm old enough. I remember all this. Remember? Oh, don't eat butter. Margarine is got no cholesterol. True or false? Now, is margarine better than butter? Millions of people in North America, they still choose margarine. Oh, Doc, it's heart healthy. No, the reason it has a heart on the box is because you're going to have a heart attack if you consume this. Okay? Let me change your mind. God wanted you to eat butter, not margarine. Okay? I don't want you to eat that stuff. And the problem is, like, if you go to a restaurant and you get anything that's fried, usually, they don't use butter. What do they use? They use bad oil. Oil that was meant for the Airbus and your car, not for you. And now we have 93% of the population that is got some form of metabolic syndrome. They're unwell. And they're not, a lot of people, they're not listening. You can't convince them. Well, you see, that's Proverbs, the fool. You can't change their minds. My doctor said. I know. But your doctor is wrong. Not on everything. But guys, that's what I'm up to. Okay? I'm trying to get you to change your mind. Now let me give you another one, okay? I was thinking of this illustration this morning. I want to get your mind off calories. Okay? What? Calories. It's a measurement of energy burned, energy consumed. A calorie is a calorie is a calorie. No, it's not. You want to get into yo-yo dieting? Count calories. You know me. I want you to change fuels. I don't want you to count calories. It's not about calories. Okay? Now, I'm going to use this illustration this morning. And for my dear friends on podcast, I'm a visual guy. You know what I got in my hand here right now? Okay? 2 eggs. You got that? 2 eggs. See them? Okay, on the podcast, you know what eggs look like. I got 2 of them in my hand. You know how many calories that is? Okay? Not that I care, but I'm going to tell you how many calories are in 2 eggs. 140. You know how many calories are in a can of Coke? Speaking of Coca-Cola, 140. Now, is it about calories or is it about fuel? 2 eggs, 140 calories. A can of Coke, 140 calories. Guys, what's better for you? Well, you know what? It's so stupid. It's so crazy. We're so upside down that some nutritionists, I can't believe even in this day and age, you know what they might tell you? Neither one of them are good for you. The eggs aren't good for you, and the Coke's no good for you. Yikes. I mean, there's nothing better than steak, but this is number 2 on the hit parade right there. Eggs. They are a complete food. Change fuel. Change your mind. Change fuel. And get away from calories. Calories are not important. They're not. Okay? They're not. It's fuel. It's quality of fuel. So when you eat 2 eggs, I'll tell you, well, you guys know this, but if I was I'm going to do this one day. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in your body if you drink a can of Coke. There's about 30 bad things that happen, or 30 things that have to happen. Let me just say that. And it's incredible compared to what happens when you consume 2 eggs. Okay? It's the quality of fuel, my friend. It's the quality of fuel. I bring you to the airport. We've been to the airport a lot today, haven't we? We looked at that jet. We watched as that Airbus took off on cooking oil. My word. But if you went to the local airport and watch them fill up, they're not filling up, not yet at least. They're not filling up with cooking oil, okay? So if you're getting on a plane, you know, sometimes you'll see them come and fill up the plane. I've seen them do it. Okay? While we were sitting in the plane. No smoking allowed. Where they fill up the plane, they're using jet fuel. They're using eggs. Okay? They're using nutrition, good nutrition. They're using jet fuel, which is a very high octane. And folks, that's what eggs are. That's what meat is. That's what cheese is. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Change your mind. Change your fuel. Change your fuel. Get away from those bad oils. Start using butter. Cook a steak and then put butter on it. Somebody asked me the other day again, Doc, you always talk about butter being good for you. What am I supposed to put it on? If you don't allow me to have toast. I get a big chuckle out of that. No, I get it. No, well, cook with it. Cook with it. Butter's fabulous. Cook with it. And then when you finish put it on your meat. Cook your eggs in it. Put some butter in there. It's good for you. It's got vitamin K too. It's got calcium. It's got very, very no carby. High protein, high fat. Change your mind. Change your fuel. Change your drinks. Okay? Just another one, last one. Change your drinks. Again, always, I love the questions. I do. I love questions. Doc, what can we drink on the reset? Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what I tell people. You got a 30-day program where you're detoxing. Trust me on drinking. Doc, what am I going to drink? Water. And coffee. And for my teetotalers, you can have a little tea, okay? I feel sorry for you. Because you don't like coffee. Coffee's better than tea. But I want you to drink two things. Water and coffee. I don't want no juices. The only thing you can have is Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie moderated for the reset. Cream. Heavy cream. But I want you to drink water and coffee. There's a reason for it. If you're going to do a 30-day detox, you want a detox, man. And you just don't want to be drinking any fructose, no sugar, none. No artificial stuff for 30 days. I know people, Doc, and I got to have my Diet Pepsi. I can't live without it. Yes, you can. I'm going to form new habits. Change your mind, change your habits, change your drink, change your oil, change your fuel. Got it? Yeah. Don't be a fool. Listen, Linda. Listen. You guys, I just have to remind you, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the new folks out there, okay? My followers, you guys are, I already gave you your honorary degree in nutrition. You deserve it. Okay, guys, great week lined up, okay? Get me those questions for Friday. I want to answer your questions. We'll do it on Friday, okay? One of these days, we'll do a live. You can call in. I don't know how we would do it, but we could try it. Okay? Guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.